Hello, my fellow essential tremor and Parkinson's friends. Um, I have not posted a video in quite a while. It has been a bit of a hectic 2 months. I had my follow-up visit with my movement disorder specialist. Oh, by the way, this is Kim Reinecke. I suffer from essential tremors and Parkinson's. I was diagnosed with Parkinson's last year, and I was diagnosed with essential tremors in 2019, February 2019. And you've probably seen some of my videos on the support group websites or YouTube. I had decided when my symptoms had become extremely physical, and you could see, and emotional, and it started affecting me mentally. I figured this, as well as seeing a therapist and a neuropsychiatrist, as well as getting treatment with the proper movement disorder specialist, as well as an orthopedic surgeon, a pain management physician, and my primary care, which they all work so well together. It took me almost 2 years, but I finally found the right people, and they have kept me in check. Oh, and my physical therapist. I can't forget about him. He's amazing. He specializes in treating Parkinson's patients, because in the area that we live, it is semi-rural. It's on the North Carolina coast, so we're by the beach, but we're not very commercialized. A lot of independent business owners here. We do have Walmart, Food Lion, things like that, but for the most part, we try to support local and independent business owners. So the last 2 months, I had in June, I had my follow-up appointment with my movement disorder specialist. I had started suffering from more off periods. Well, my carbidopa, levodopa, and my ropinirole were, I was starting to, I could tell when it was time to take my medicine. I'm on the carbidopa, levodopa, Simonet, 3 pills 3 times a day. That was the very first thing they put me on. They started me on the ropinirole in January because I noticed that there was some wearing off again. Then this early June of 2020, when I followed up again, she put me on something called, let me pull it out here, wrong bottle, it's a red pill, that's all I know. Entacapone, 200 milligrams, 1 tablet, 3 times a day with my Simonet. I had started experiencing a little bit of dyskinesia, and it was mainly in my hands, where and that was just, she explained to me that that was mostly because the Simonet was not extending as long as it needed to, because it's once every 4 hours that I take it, all of it. I even tried the ropinirole, you know, between my doses of Simonet, and that didn't help either. So it's Simonet, ropinirole, and incantapone. That seems to be doing the trick. Well, fast forward. I'm not sure if I've ever mentioned this. I had, which is hard to say. I've never been able to have children, human children. So, almost 17 years ago, I found 2 babies that adopted me. Fur babies, but to me, they were still my babies. During the almost 2 years that my symptoms were becoming more prominent and more obvious and severe. And it was hard enough to get out of the bed because my body hurt so bad. I got out of the bed every day because of them, which I'm glad. They stayed right by my side every single second of the day until Grandma got home, of course, because she would spoil them rotten with treats. Then they would come right back in here with me and lay by my side. So during that almost 2-year period, they were getting older, and there were obvious things that were happening. My little boy, who is a Jack Russell mix, his name is Barton, and he started developing a mass on his elbow. So, and of course, with their age at that time, they were 15, 16 years old, and I had been, they hadn't been to the vet in almost 2 years because of COVID, and plus I couldn't go anywhere, do anything, and they were the only ones that would let anyone touch them. So, let me digress for a second. So, my babies, as they aged, of course, they were losing a lot of their sight, their hearing, which was kind of bittersweet because any loud noises, they weren't hearing them anymore. Thunderstorms, it wasn't freaking them out anymore. My little girl developed incontinence, so I had to take her to the vet and put her on some medication for that, which made her, I think she had the beginnings of Cushing's. She had arthritis in her rear legs and her hips. And she looked like she was a mutt. She looked like a little miniature short-haired German Shepherd with one blue eye, one brown eye. And she was the matriarch, the one that always looked over everything, made sure everybody was okay. So, once my symptoms got under control and I got the correct diagnosis, I started exercising and physical therapy and changing my diet. Everything was going so good, and So I had taken them to the vet, and just getting them the regular checkups, and getting their flea control, getting their heartworm medicine, all of that. And the vet tested the mass on my little boy's elbow, and she said it looks like it was a slow growing cancer. He had a mass on his chest as well, which was a fatty tumor that never got any bigger, but the mass on his elbow did. So as things progressed, they were getting older. They couldn't do surgery. He tore his ACL in his right rear leg and his knee. Couldn't do surgery. He's too old for that. So we had to make a very hard decision, and the vet came 2 weeks ago. And she came and she took him over the Rainbow Bridge. It's still really fresh. She took both of them because I knew that my little girl couldn't live without her brother. And she was getting so bad too. She stopped eating. She ate her milk bone treats, but that was the only thing. So it was time. I couldn't let them suffer anymore. Oh, God. So that's been a very, very hard thing for us as a family to go through. Mama was here when the vet came. She held my little boy, and he laid his head on her lap. And my little girl laid her head in my lap. Oh, God. So, we got their ashes this past Tuesday, and which was 2 days ago. And so me and my brother and my mama, we had a little ceremony for them, and they're sitting on the bookshelf next to Daddy's ashes. So prior to this, I had started developing back issues again, mainly on across my hips and down my right leg. My pain specialist had already given me done another facet burn, and that was like 3 months ago, 2 or 3 months ago, something like that. And I think I had done a video about that and how it had helped a little, but not quite all the way there. So I went back to see him, and we decided to do an epidural, which that was scheduled for this past Friday. And it was a good thing that it was, because I had still been exercising, doing physical therapy, just not pushing myself as bad or as hard as I used to. I had to, be very cautious of my back. My physical therapist had given me exercises to do that were helping me build up my abs and my legs, my quads, and my back muscles. So, after the babies passed, I was pretty depressed for about a week and a half. And I hadn't been exercising. And I needed to get out of the house and exercise. So I did. Did that on Sunday. Felt great. I felt so freaking fantastic. So my god sister, or my cousin, she was here from Virginia. She came in, I believe it was Saturday. A week ago this past Saturday. Thank God she was here. I had gone to Walmart. We were going to be cooking, and had a big cart with my flip-flops. My $30 freaking Cobian flip-flops that I love. When I walk in the Walmart, my feet slip and slide everywhere. So, of course, I'm using my cart, trying to, keep myself held up and, to get around the store and stay steady. Well, it was probably about 8 or 8:30 that evening. I got there around 7, something like that. I was reaching for something. I was in the cleaning aisle, and I was reaching for something on the shelf. Well, because my right leg and hip had been so bad, I was putting all my weight on my left leg. And I was reaching up to grab it. So as soon as I reached up to grab it, and my left leg had come up off the floor, or excuse me, my right leg had come off the floor just a little bit. And as soon as I put it back down, my legs just split apart. So my left leg went forward and my right leg went backwards. And that's all it took. Thought it was going to be okay. I was getting my epidural on Friday. It took me a couple minutes to get up. I gingerly got up, and the pain set in. And it got worse and worse and worse. So I went to the checkout, and because it was so late in the evening, there was only 2 cashiers that were open, and the rest of them were self-checkout. So I really needed help, but there was a line waiting at both cashiers. So I decided to do self-checkout, and I told the young lady that was handling the self-checkout what happened. I just wanted it to be documented. I didn't plan on suing them or anything like that, because I've already got back issues. I told her that. I said I have Parkinson's, essential tremors. I just want it to be documented, just in case there were any other issues that may come up. because the way that my left leg had, I mean, it had turned in. So my knee was turned in, my ankles turned in, and that was really starting to hurt. I actually had started, the pain across my hips was horrendous, and then I started getting the pain down my left leg. So the more I was, the more pain that developed, the more anxious I got, and it was time for my meds anyway, for my Parkinson's meds. As soon as I got in the car, I took a pain pill, I took a Valium, I took all of my Parkinson's medicine. Called my cousin, told her I was on my way home, and I said, we're going to have to go to the ER. Going to have to call the EMTs. As soon as I walk in the door, y'all are going to have to unload the groceries. I'm calling the EMTs, and we're heading there. The pain had gotten so bad where I was tremoring again, and severely tremoring, to the point where it was affecting my breathing. I was having my very first panic / anxiety attack. And that developed into, kicked me into hyperventilating. So the paramedic, we get to the ER, which is in my local county, and there's 3 counties surrounding us. None of them have none of the hospitals there have a very good reputation, but in my county specifically, it has the worst. So we get there, and of course, I'm in the ambulance. I know the drill. Pull out my COVID card, my insurance card, my ID, my list of medications. Now, I was there last year, same day actually, June 28th, 2020. I had been having nausea and vomiting and weakness for about 2 to 3 weeks, a little bit of dizziness. I thought it was just my regular stomach issues. Went to the ER because I knew I was fully dehydrated. He did a stomach CT. It's the same doctor now. He did a stomach CT, gave me fluids and Phenergan, which, come to find out, I was not supposed to have Phenergan because of the Simonet. It counteracts. So, he gives me fluids. I follow up with my gastroenterologist 2 days later. Of course, I called my primary care, told him what happened. July 4th, same thing. I was only able to hold fluids for about a day and a half after I got out on the 28th of June last year. Couldn't eat anything at all. And I was trying to get Pedialyte down. Couldn't even do that. I had suppositories to, at least try to get some fluids in me. Nothing worked. Then I had gotten so dizzy and weak, so much more dizzy and weak, that I had to call my mama at her store and say, you need to come get me. We need to go to the ER again. And I felt pressure on my chest right here, but I thought it was because I've got intestinal reflux disease. So that's what I thought it was. I thought it was my stomach again. No. Going to the ER again. Same doctor. Yeah. They zipped me through there this time because he knew he screwed up from the last time. He had only done the stomach CT last time. He had marked in my chart that I did not have Parkinson's, but I had Parkinson's symptoms, which I had already been diagnosed with Parkinson's and had been on Parkinson's medication since April of 2020. So, again, back in the ER, a week later, July 4th, he finally does a chest CT, and my lungs were full of blood clots. He had to give me a double dose of the clot busting medicine. They had to life flight me out to Vidant Hospital, which is a teaching hospital, which is 2 hours away. The nurses from the life flight, they couldn't figure out why he had given me so much medication to break up the clots, and then they had taken a look at my films and said, "Oh, now we know why." You know, so what would have been a 2-hour drive took 30 minutes. So, thank God, because I was within an hour of dying. I was coherent, though. Trying to keep my mama calm. I was joking around with everybody. They got me, to the ICU. Joking around with the nurses there, and they were just on it. I mean, just on it. I was amazed. So, I had finally fallen asleep, probably about 4 o'clock in the morning. And then I want to say it was about 6 o'clock in the morning. I don't know if it was who it was, but they were doing a Doppler on my legs, because both of my legs were full of clots as well. Now, again, like I said, the same doctor had treated me both times. None of my medications, none, pretty much nothing that was in my chart when I looked in my patient portal was correct. All of the medications that are currently listed in my portal were medications that I was on a year and a half before. This time, I go in, my tremors are full on, my back's killing me. They take me off the ambulance gurney and put me in a hard, everybody's using those hard wheelchairs now. So, of course, that was extremely uncomfortable, and I was hyperventilating. I started hyperventilating. So the paramedic had to give me a vomit bag from the registration desk, and I had to breathe in and out of that for 6 hours. 6 hours. We arrived at 10:15. He got me registered at that time. He was waiting on my mama to get there. They had me in the waiting room. He said the ER was packed, and I said, "Can I lay down anywhere? That helps the pain. That'll help calm me down." He said, "No, I'm sorry. You're gonna have to sit in the chair." So yeah, Mama got there. I was just breathing in and out of that bag, not enough times. 6 hours I had to do that. As soon as Mama got me there, and I had not been triaged yet. As soon as Mama got there, I asked her for my Valium to try to help calm me down, and also another pain pill to see if that would help calm me down. And the last time I had taken that was at 9 o'clock. This was 10:30 by then, 10:30, quarter to 11. I was finally triaged when I hyperventilated so bad I could not control my body. I had almost passed out. All of my limbs were numb. Um, and so they had taken me back to triage. And this hospital, they had done a lot of renovations. Mayo Clinic had actually taken over ownership of this hospital. It's not a Mayo Clinic hospital, but it is under their umbrella. So it's still operating as a, the same name hospital as it was before. And so, excuse me, I had given the nurse again all of my stuff, my COVID card, my ID, my insurance card, and my updated med list. We even went through the medication. I told her, I said, yeah, I'm not taking that milligrams anymore. I'm taking 300 milligrams now. We discussed all that. So with the renovations of the hospital, what they've done is they've set up an area between the waiting room of the ER and the actual ER treatment rooms. So it's like when you go to outpatient surgery, and so they have those recliners and an extra chair, and then they have curtains that go around. So there were 6 like cubicles of that. So she said, would it be better if you sat in a recliner? I said, oh my God, yes. So she brought me pillows. I had already told her what medications I had taken. Nothing was helping. Every time I took the bag away from my mouth, I would get lightheaded and feel like I was going to pass out. So I told my mama, my cousin was out in the car, told my mama, I said, just, one of y'all needs to go home, the other one come back. I don't need both y'all here, because only one person's allowed in. So while she was gone, the doctor finally comes in. Let's see. I was triaged at 11:11. The doctor finally came in at where I was sitting in the lounge chair to see me at, I think it was 20 after 1 a.m. And started to ask me what happened. I'm having a hard enough time talking, let alone breathing. So every time I pulled the bag away, it was really hard. I'd get lightheaded, and he'd say, well, why don't you try taking the bag away? You're hyperventilating. And I said, well, when I do that, I feel like I'm going to pass out. He said, do you feel like you're going to pass out? Or do you really think you're going to pass out? That right there pissed me off. Okay. So I asked him for something to help calm me down, get me out of this pain, something. Do whatever he has to do. And he started to get up and walk away. And I said, wait a minute. I said, I was here last year. I had bilateral PEs and had to be life flighted out to Vidant. I'll check your chart. Don't worry about that. Kept on going. He said, I've got to go see other patients. I was in that recliner until 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning. He had ordered x-rays on my ankle, CT on my belly and my chest and my hips, my chest, on my head as well, because I think I hit my head on the cart, but I didn't think anything of it. My main concern was the fact that I couldn't freaking breathe and I was tremoring worse than I ever have in my entire life. So he did the chest CT just to make sure there was no chance of blood clots, because I had to stop my blood thinners just a couple days before I was in the ER this time, because my pain specialist told me I had to go off of it for at least 5 days, 5 to 7 days. So I'd been off of my blood thinners for 3 days at that time. And they had done blood work. Still no pain medicine. Still hyperventilating. They finally get me in the room. They get my legs propped up and, you know, just all kinds of stuff. Still no medication. Finally, these two wonderful blessings of, there was a nurse and a paramedic in training. They were putting an IV in, and also they were giving me some Dilaudid and some Ativan. So they said, oh, you should feel better in just a little while. So they gave me the Dilaudid and the Ativan, and it started calming me down a little bit. Still had to breathe in the bag. Then he had put something else in my IV. Come to find out, it was steroids. The doctor ordered freaking steroids to a person who was hyperventilating for 6 freaking hours, who has essential tremors and Parkinson's. What gave him the great idea to do that? I have no idea. Because anybody, you don't have to have a medical degree, any type of medical training to know that you don't give steroids to anybody that is hyperventilating. So, he came in to check on me about 4:30. My body had already started, the medicine they gave me already started wearing off. I started having internal tremors through my entire body, and then my whole body started tremoring again, inside, outside, all over again. And I told him, I said, he was about to discharge me. I said, the nurse said something about you giving me steroids. And he said, yeah. I said, well, you're not supposed to give steroids to essential tremor or Parkinson's patients. He goes, oh, let me check your chart. What the hell? So he comes back in and he charts it in my chart as I did not say anything to him about the steroids until after they had given them to me. That the nurse told me that they were giving them to me. No, I was already looped up on freaking Dilaudid and Ativan. All I heard right before the nurses walked out the door was, oh, you got something about steroid. So, again, more Ativan. I think it was like 3 more doses of Ativan by that time. Nothing was helping. I also did tell him that I needed my Parkinson's medication. I had 2 of them in my purse, but the third one that I had just been added on was not. I heard him call the pharmacy, and the hospital pharmacy did not carry it. So he told me I could take my carbidopa, levodopa, and myropinarol, and I said that might help. It didn't, of course. So it was, I don't even remember what time it was. I got discharged at 9:20 in the morning. But at one point in time, oh, it was around 7 o'clock because the shift change had happened. Um, one of the new nurses had come in to check on me. And so Mama said, "Do you want me to go home and get your other medicine?" And so we asked the nurse, is it okay, for my mama to do that? And she said, "Oh yeah, I'll just double check with the doctor, but yeah, it should be fine." So Mama left, and not 15 minutes after she left, and it takes 10 minutes each way to get to the hospital from our house. So the nurse comes back in. My mama was gone. She hands me discharge papers, has me sign the discharge form. I said, "Wait a minute." I said, "My mom is not here. Nobody's here for me." I said, "Remember she went to get the medication?" She goes, "Yeah, but well, we need the bed." She said, "You're going to need to get dressed and, get in the wheelchair, and we need the bed." I was floored. Then she wheeled me out into the ER waiting room again, and yeah, sitting there tremoring, and oh yeah, crazy stuff. So I had contacted all of my doctors, let them know what happened. Wasn't sure if I was still going to be able to get the epidural done. My god sister was here taking care of me because I couldn't move. I couldn't put any pressure on my left leg, my heel. Both of my legs had been bruised up severely. There was some swelling in my knee and my ankle, all of that great stuff. And so I actually had gone onto my patient portal for the hospital to see exactly what it was that they gave me, because I wasn't even sure. The nurses told me they were giving me something for pain, and they asked if I had ever had any Ativan, and I said, "I don't know, but right now I don't care." So got home. I was wide awake all day. I had to lay down just to get the weight off my back, my legs, my foot, my knee. And so that's when I opened up my patient portal and found everything that was documented from my last 3 visits there were completely inaccurate. None of my medications had been updated. Nothing about my COVID vaccine had been charted in there. I saw that, June 28, 2020, he had charted in my chart that I did not have Parkinson's. But then on 4th of July, when I returned the following week, it did say I have Parkinson's. So, because I went so long with my medications, all of my medications, being off for so long, it was day and a half, 2 days, where I didn't have my antidepressants. I have 2 antidepressants. One that helps me, control my I'm slightly obsessive compulsive, but it helps control my emotions, my mental status, all of that. And the other one, it just, puts me on a good, smooth, path. I'm also on I was taking Ambien, and they switched me over to Lunesta for my sleep. Um, and I'm also on a couple of blood pressure medications. So I got completely obsessed. My OCD kicked in so bad. Uh, so it took, let's see, I was still tremoring severely when I went to get my epidural. My pain specialist said, yeah, don't ever go to that ER again. Um, and he has privileges at that hospital. It's right down the road from his office. So they did the epidural. That helped a little bit initially, and then I was still tremoring. Came home, lay down. Um, no appetite for like the last 3 weeks. I've lost 10 pounds now. And my god sister, my cousin, she took care of everything. She made sure I took my medication. She brought food to me. She made sure I drank enough fluids, everything. Um, and because Mama had to work, I would have had to have had home health come in if it wasn't for my cousin. So the epidural was done. Let's see, it was either Saturday or Sunday. Uh, Epidural was done on Friday. I think it was Sunday when my tremors completely stopped. I felt like a brand new woman. Brand new woman. My primary care was out of the office until after the 4th of July. He was not coming in until Tuesday because a lot of people took Monday off for 4th of July. So my epidural really started kicking in on Monday, but I still had a lot of pain in my my ankle and my knee. So when I was getting my epidural done, I asked my pain specialist about seeing a general orthopedist that's within his practice to take a look at my knee and my ankle. So I had that done yesterday. They did some x-rays. He said, yeah, you're going to have to take it easy for a little while, but nothing's broken. I think you just probably just, strained a little bit, because I've had a skiing accident where my right knee was completely shredded up. So I know what it feels like when it's that bad. So I knew it was probably just tweaked. No big deal. Then I saw my primary care today. We went over everything, and I feel normal. He told me, yeah, you're just going to have to take it easy on your ankle for a little bit and to get a brace. But he said, yeah, compared to compared to what I was less than a week before. Oh my gosh. Or even, way less than a week before. I'm doing so much better. I just really wanted to give everyone an update since it's been so long. I am starting back with my physical therapist this Saturday. He knows what's going on, so I can't put any weight on my left leg, but he will know the exercises that I will be able to do, and he can show me to do, and so I can keep building my quads, my hamstrings, my abs, my back, all that good stuff. My disability got approved. Woohoo! I think I may have videoed that too, but yeah, so we were just waiting for them to contact in writing my disability attorney. So I filed for disability in November of 2019, but my symptoms started in February of 2019. So they had declared me disabled in August of 2019. So, the way disability works, once you are declared disabled, and if you file and they, keep denying, keep appealing, because you will not get any retroactive money if you do not keep appealing. So, I received a letter stating that I didn't file until February of 2020, which was incorrect. Well, I emailed my disability attorney, and the way that the state work or the disability works, and the reason why they picked August of 2019 instead of February of 2019 is because August to February 2019 I turned 50 years old. So you get better coverage, you get more money when you're in your 50s, once you hit 50 years old. So that's what they're doing. So after you are officially declared disabled, which I was in 2019, you have to wait. It's a 5-month wait before they start paying out. So my retroactive disability money only went to February of 2020. So that was a little confusing, and I got a little frustrated with that, but that's okay. That's okay. My disability attorney, we, had emailed back and forth about it, and I need to call them tomorrow, and I just got a letter from them, so I got to open up and see what they said. But this is my update. We're getting all kinds of, if you look back at a lot of my videos, you'll see so many different things have happened. For my body to kick back in gear in, a week's time instead of taking a month, that speaks volumes about how you control your diet and exercise. Those are the two biggest things. You will hear that over and over and over again. I don't care how old you are, how young you are, doesn't matter. Those are the two number one things that will help you. So, again, I want to thank all of you. I'm propped up in the bed right now. I want to thank all of you for watching. Showing support to me and to the others that suffer like us. I actually had spoken to our congressman's aide who had been helping me get my disability pushed through quicker. COVID just really screwed a lot of things up. But I had some help, and I thank God I did. But again, thank you so much for your support. Please, please go on the essentialtremor.org website. Go find it on Facebook, any support groups. Go on YouTube, type in tremor or essential tremor. Do the same thing with Parkinson's. Everybody knows about Michael J. Fox, and he has done wonders for the treatments of our disease. But we really, really, really need more research done and more money to do that. I mean, Michael J. Fox has raised more money for Parkinson's than any other nonprofit for any other disease. So please spread the awareness. Just let anybody you know. Share my videos with your friends on Facebook, on YouTube, whatever, your YouTube channel, Instagram, whatever you want to do. I don't care. I don't make any money off this. I don't get paid for anything. I do this because I need this. It's cathartic for me, but also the other people that I have met through the support groups that have been through so much. And I am just a dabble. I mean, like this. Their stuff is up to here. I'm just right here. And I hope it stays that way. But it really does need to be shared. So please, that's all I ask. You don't have to like my videos. You don't have to comment. You don't have to subscribe. It'd be great if you did. But you don't have to. Just share these videos with whomever you know who might have Parkinson's, who doesn't have Parkinson's, who might have essential tremors, who may not have essential tremors. It doesn't matter. Just spread the awareness. That's all I ask. Okay? All right. So, it's going to be a little while, I think, before, fingers crossed, before I have to go to the doctor again. So I will do another monthly update next month. That's my birthday month. So we'll see how things have transitioned. And hopefully I'm still doing good. So thank you, everyone. Again, spread the awareness.